There are certain things in this world you don't have to see to believe. This is the cause of the greatest sins in the world. But if you can transform this energy and put it here, it's the cause of the greatest inspirations in the world. If we can know to master ourselves, we can know to master God. And when you master God, you live like God, you are God. It is only when the messengers of God are alive in you that you can say, I know God. Biology. If you study Bible, you can understand biology. If you understand biology, you know God. Because God made you in His image, right? What is John here on your body now? If Peter is your pineal gland, the center of your brain, what is John? Your throat. Because he is the one who wrote the story of God, of Jesus, and he told it, right? So he represents your throat. And then you have Bartholomew. Yalizwa lelo gama alikho kasilapho Bartholomew. Uyamazi wena uBartholomew. Ongenanga nokungena na isikolo. Or Gabul Gauda. What is Gabul Gauda? Gabul is the cranium, the top part of your brain, the top part of the skull. No? That means the top part of your skull is the Golgo or the Gabul. Ta is the lower part of your skull. This is why they say that Golgotha is the place of the skull. It's the Gabul Gauda, the Golgotha, the place of the skull. Now, what is the place of the skull? It's your head. It's your head. Now, your head, even in biology, this part of your body is called the temple. I mean, especially here. Between the eyes and the ears, this place is called the temples, right? It's called the temple because of that reason. This is the Golgotha, this is the Golgotha. Now, if Christ died on Golgotha, what does that mean? He did what? Bekaphetwe headache. Ukuzitshela kwaphela no. The crown, yeah. What is the Christ that was buried, that was crucified on Golgotha? It's the Kundalini. This thing that sits here. Some others call it Idozi, some others call it Umbilini. Abanye bathi Kundalini. Abanye bathi Chikara. Angithi ngiyazi Chikara. The power of God. This is where it sits. And then it goes up on the vertical beam of the cross. And then it reaches Golgotha. And it spreads into the two hemispheres of the brain. The right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. Now, when Christ was on Golgotha, what happened? There were two criminals, one on the left, one on the right. You remember what they said? The one on the left said, if you really are the Son of God, now, logic, right? If you really are the Son of God, give me proof. The left side of your brain will always want proof. It's logical. There is the devil in you. That is Luciferus. It's called Lucis, Lucius, Lucifer. You understand? And then the right side of your brain now will always be the one that says, no, please be with me when you reach your Father's kingdom. I haven't seen it, I don't know it, but I can imagine it and believe in something that I do not see. Right? So your right side of the brain deals with imagination, spirituality, creativity, inventiveness, intuition. The left side of your brain deals with logic, concrete evidence. But now concrete evidence can be manipulated, you know that, right? I can take a blue picture and paint it green, and then you will believe it's green because you see it's green, but it's not green. You have to be able to see beyond what you can see. Now, Christ, he goes up the cross. Anitibati, he moved from Jerusalem, and then carrying the cross. And then one man from Cyrene, an African called Simon. This African called Simon from Cyrene, there in Libya, Wambambis at the cross. Who is this, or what does this symbolize? If this energy that sleeps here is Christ, what then is Simon? What does Simon symbolize? What is it that helps the energy move from here going up the spine? I just gave you a clue. Inga and Pingala. The two nodes in your spine. It's called the central nervous system, the CNS. If you study Bible, you can understand biology. If you understand biology, you know God. Because God made you in His image, right? So why must you not understand God if you study yourself? Huh? If you were made in the image of God, how can you not understand God if you study yourself? When you study your biology, you understand God. Now, Simon is the central nervous system, is the one that helps the Christ rise up the spine, up until he reaches Golgotha, the place of the skull. Your brain center. And when it reaches the center of the brain, this is where you find your pineal gland. Right? And the pineal gland, after 13 years, what happens to it? It starts to calcify. It starts to become like a rock. It starts to become like a stone. And then what did Christ say when he saw Peter? Upon this rock I will do what? Build my church. Upon this rock in the center of your brain, your pineal gland, this is where God builds his church. Why does he build it in the center of your brain? In the pineal gland, the so-called third eye. Right? Because this is where now you can see into the spiritual world instead of only the physical realities. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is it making sense?
Yes.
You see, what is psychology, biology is theology. We are all talking about the same thing. The existence of God in man and man in God. There is no separation. Now when Christ reaches the center, the rock, the pineal gland, they put him on a cross. That cross is called Saustam Kraus. It's called Santa Claus. Saustas Kraus. which is called Santa Claus, but biologically is your saustas. It is the dividing of the brainstem from the medulla oblongata to the cerebellum into the higher hemispheres of the brain. It's called the clouds. In plain English, your clavicle. Making sense? When your brainstem divides into your two hemispheres. This is why Santa Claus comes through a chimney, right? The chimney is your spine. Is the vertical arm of the cross where Jesus is hanging. Do you understand? We are speaking about the same thing. In the wilderness, Moses took a copper and made a snake, and he put the snake up on a pole, right? Everybody who was bitten by snakes in the wilderness, they had to go to that pole and look up at it, and they were healed. Right? Why? Because once your kundalini, once isithunywa sakho sikhuphukile, once your kundalini has risen, and when it rises through 7 portals, the 7 spirits of God, your so-called 7 chakras. When they are all activated, you start to be spiritual. You start to see spiritual. You start to act spiritual. You start to feel spiritual. Your whole life becomes spiritual. Because now, izithunywa zikamenzi, izithunywa, the messengers of God, are alive in you. Does it make sense? It is only when the messengers of God are alive in you that you can say, I know God. And who are these messengers of God? There are 7 archangels, right? Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Tzafkiel, Tzadkiel, Azazel, and Samael. Samael Anvulo. Samael, the Lord of Light.
Brightest morning star.
Brightest morning star. There are 7 archangels before the throne of God. Izithunywa zikamenzi. Let's talk about them ngesintu. Umlenze munye. The principle of God that is oneness. Sithunywa sikamenzi sokuqala ubani? Umlenze munye. The principle of God that is oneness. Usomandla. The principle of God that is vitality and force, power. Right? Umvelinqangi, the principle of God of manifestation, from secrecy to openness, from darkness to light. What else do we have? We have Nomkhubulwane. Who is Nomkhubulwane? The sense of sensuality and fertility. What makes the world keep alive? We see children, is fertility. We see fruits, it's fertility. We see rain, it's fertility. Unomkhubulwane. This is why the Bible will always say, bear fruits. You must have fruits in your works. Who else do we have? Nomhoi, which is sexuality and the animal instinct of feelings. Your creative energy. What makes the world what we see. Oh, maybe if I can put this and this together, this can come out. Do you understand? And then what do we have? Usomandla simbalile. Usodumo. Uyayiva nawe le gama lithi kuyaduma. Usodumo. Mushido. Utshwala phele. the vibration, the principle of God of constantly moving. God is never standing still. God is always moving. It's the principle of vibration. Right? And then we have this. Sesibize usodume, sibize umlenze munye, sibize usomandla, sibize unomhoyi, sibize nomkhubulwane. Ngeke kujobe unomdabu. The principle of the mother, the nurturer, but also the destroyer. Because a mother nurtures a child, let's put it like this. A mother mothers a child, amkhulise. But past a certain point, you put an S before the M, mothering stops being mothering and becomes smothering. Now when you are smothering a child, you are crippling your child. Women are useless. Angakwazi ukuzicabangela, angakwazi ukuzenzela, ukhanda isinowe. Ukhanda umntwana useless. Njalo, mommy can I, mommy can I, mommy can I. Angeka phile emhlabeni mongafa mama lo mntwana loyo. Do you understand? Now, but that principle of the mother is also the very same principle that is the one that's going to teach you about the last principle, which is the father. So you have these 7 principles. You guys understand? That need to be activated. Yiso ke lesi into kuthiwa sisithunywa mntanami. Ngazwa ngitshela abantu ukuthi hanina isithunywa sami ugogo bani ukhuluma manga. Your grandmother was not there at the creation of the world. Do you hear me? It is these 7 principles that was there. And those 7 principles, God put them in each and every one of us. So that at one point in time, like you today, iyavuswa lento. Do you understand the science behind it? So Christ went up from Jerusalem, up to Golgotha, where he was crucified with the left hemisphere of the brain, which said what? If you are really the Son of God, save yourself and save me. I mean, there's always that voice when you're trying to do something. Hey, but are you sure you're going to do it? Yes. You've never heard that voice? You've never heard that voice? Are you really sure you're going to do it? And you want to do good, but this voice says, are you sure? The left side of the brain, it's always looking for proof, evidence. You go on a police station, you get a police station, Sergeant Mashawu, where's the evidence? You don't have evidence in my where am I going to get evidence in my What am I going to bring? A receipt? The man stole my phone and gave me a receipt. What evidence are you looking for? That's the left side of your brain. Show me what this God is. I want to see this God. Before I can believe, show me. There are certain things in this world, there are certain things in this world you don't have to see to believe. Have you ever seen your lungs pulling oxygen? How do you believe you breathe every day? No, it's a simple question. Have you ever seen your lungs pulling oxygen? But you believe that you are breathing. Yes. Why must you believe in things that are here and you don't want to believe in the person who made it like that? What's wrong with you? You want to believe that the chicken on the plate is nice, but you don't want to believe that the person who cooked it knows how to cook. How did the chicken become nice if the person who can't cook? You want to believe in things you can see and touch? Ntanam, I can create a rubber duck for you that can talk. Are you going to believe that is a duck now? Christ was crucified with one criminal on the left. You must be careful of that criminal on the left. You must watch him. He's always going to ask you, if you are really the Son of God, save yourself and then save me. But first of all, ask him, did I say to you, have your George and you must be a criminal? Did I send you there?
No.
Why must I save you now? This is necessary, but you must watch him. You must watch him. This man does not know God. This is the man that knows God. The right side of your brain. That's why. Yabona mokwatile washawa umuntu mokwatile uthini zokushawa right angithi. Why would you zokushawa right? Because you are thinking with the left side of your brain. Did you know that your left side of the brain controls the right side of your body? You know that? The left side of your brain controls the right side of your body, and the right side of your brain controls the left side of your body. Right? Now, manzo kushawa right, msuke ngicabanga logical ukuthi ujwayela kabi ke lo ngimshanga imlimazi logical. Awucabangi right, ucabanga left. Kanti if bowucabanga right, bowuzobona ukuthi hey, yadelela lo. Kodwa kuhlutsha ukuthi akunasiko. Akazenzi. Akahlatshelwanga imbuzi. You understand? But now you are thinking right, not left. When you are thinking left, uzofuna right. But when you are thinking left, uzofuna ukwenza right. Umenzele kahle. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Christ was crucified on the Claus, Santa Claus, Satum, Sanctum, Claus. Right? The sanctuary sanctum, Claus, the sanctuary of the energy. And he was crucified with two prisoners, one on the left, one on the right. And he was the one in the center. And he said what? On this rock I shall build my church. What is that rock? The pineal gland. And then after that he chose one of his beloved disciples called John. You remember John? The one who laid on Christ's chest, and Christ told him that you shall not see death until you see all the prophecies fulfilled. And John is the one who wrote the book of Revelation, right? Yes. The one who died on the island of Patmos. What is John here on your body now? If Peter is your pineal gland, the center of your brain, what is John? Your throat. Because he is the one who wrote the story of God, of Jesus, and he told it. Right? So he represents your throat. And then you have Bartholomew. Yalizwa lelo gama alikho kasilapho. Bartholomew. Uyamazwe lo Bartholomew. Ongenanga nokungena na isikolo. Bartholomew, yazi uthini uJesu mayibona uBartholomew for the first time. Uthi yabona nalo Jude liqotho. Kana ifasana. He's Jewish born, compromise uBartholomew. Uji. Yini uBartholomew nakuwe? Into compromising your heart. If your heart is set on something, bona ngifuna bathi kuyasha kule ndawo yakuyo uyangena. Ngoba inhliziyo yakho itheni? Ngiyalapha. uBartholomew ke loyo wayibona ufasela kunomuzwa. I understand. What is Matthew in your body? What is Matthew? He collects texts, right? So he takes something and takes something from something. He collects tax. What is that? On your liver, you have a bile. Ion. Right? That activates which gland?
Thyroid.
Balloons. Now about ion activates thyroid.
I'm wrong.
Yabona ngimfundisa mahala mina la ekhaya ngiyakhwitha. We are going down your body with the glands. We're talking about the glands. From your heart, what gland is there? What's the next gland? No, that's not a gland.
Pulmonary gland. The pulmonary gland.
Pulmonary gland. Because the pulmonary gland takes breath and separates oxygen from carbon dioxide. It's collecting tags. It's here. It's just under the heart.
Under the heart and the lungs.
Yeah, it's just there. It separates oxygen from carbon dioxide. It collects tags to give to the blood. I mean,
So they call kidneys.
no, before it gets to the kidney, it has to purify the blood before it gets to the liver, so that the bile doesn't overload. And then you have got an exaggerated bile, so patwa inyongo manje sekumele bayokupay.
You are learning, we are learning, that's why we just keep on saying.
And then you have uba nomunye lo biza ama disciple Nathaniel the philosopher, the one who's always thinking, this Jesus, is he really the Messiah? This one? Not Thomas the doubter, the one who is always thinking. He's not doubting, he's just thinking, what if, man?
He's the one who asked what good can come out of Nazareth.
He's the one who asked what good can come. Perfect. He's the one who asked what good can come out of Nazareth. Because who pegele pani what umfundisi Rasta. Yini ngizoyifunda la. Nomuntu ukhuluma ngoNkulunkulu mephambi kwethu uphethe insangu ngesandla silasi savelelo. He's the one who asked that. But in his mind, uyasho ukuthi but lento ekhuluma iqiniso yazi. Yakumarirasa bana. Mariqiniso marubhekisana iqiniso lento ekhuluma. Othi ngibona izophelela phi. That's Nathaniel. What is that? Your adrenal gland. Your fight or flight. And like Lanya no Oriental. We have done. Nathaniel. Am I defending or am I Cesar? And then you get James and Andrew, the sons of Tanna. You remember? The sons of Tanna. The sons of Bonages. Andrew and James, his brother. Always arguing amongst each other. No, throw the net this side. Man, throw the net that side. They're always arguing. And then they went to their mother to bribe Jesus. You know my sons. Yeah, who are your sons? No, man, you know James and Andrew. Oh, man. Yes, man. If I can bake a cake for you, will you take them to your kingdom? If we can leave it up to them, none of them is going to go to heaven because they are going to argue about it. What is that on your body? Your gonads, your sexual glands. For me, it's testes. For you, is ovaries. And they are always arguing. Hey, I want this man, but no, he's not good for me. No, I want that man. No, but no, I want this man. No, but no, this man. No. The greatest cause of sin is the gonads, your sexual organs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now you need your mother to come and beg Jesus to save you. So how does your mother, now, we're talking about your lower regions, right? What is your mother that needs to come and ask Christ to take you to his kingdom. It's called arousal. When you feel aroused, and you, I want this man. No, I want that man. No, I want that. No. You must turn that arousal around and send it up to Christ to receive inspiration. I'm teaching you secrets today. You must take that feeling of arousal. This is why in Egypt, this region is called Heru, the house of Horus, the house of the Son of God. Why? Because that bird must come out and rise to the top and resurrect his father. Rise, erect his father, resurrect.
And he's a product of the father.
And he's the product of the rise, erect of his father. So his mother must take this energy and transform it into divine godly energy. So you don't think sexually, you think godly. Because this is the cause of the greatest sins in the world. But if you can transform this energy and put it here, it's the cause of the greatest inspirations in the world. This is why the greatest artists live alone. The greatest healers fast and separate themselves. You don't engage in this region if you want to know God. Engage in this region if you want to know God. Transform this arousal into a rise erection so that you can experience Christ, not the devil. Does it make sense? The sons of thunder. This is why they are called the sons of Bonagis, the sons of thunder. It's you know, when people are driven by this area, they don't understand. You can't stop them. You can't stop them. When this area says move, they move. This is why they are called the sons of thunder. Oh, and then who is the last disciple? Is Nambala?
Philip.
Philip.
Come and see. Come and see.
Oh. Philip started believing in Christ as Christ after his death. Philip followed Christ because Christ did things that nobody else did. So he was always the one who was New Horizons. The complete generations were done. Abakhaliphi Rock, Beknale company, but New Horizons. Yeah, Philip, bro. Philip is the biggest billboard in the Bible. Which is my cut to weather something. Hey, yes, out here. Also, hey, out here, come and see. But he never believed in that. He just wanted other people to come and see.
I mean, he told him to Nathaniel when he questioned the whole Nazareth. No, come and see.
I can't. We are both. No, but yeah, he'll never show you. What gland is that in your body? What gland are we talking about in your body? Come and see.
No.
I'll tell you. You don't know? Here, under your jaw, under your mandible, it's called your lymph glands. Every time it detects a sickness, you start to get flu, what happens? It swells up. You start to get infection, what happens? It swells up. You start to get anything, what does it happen? It swells up. Come and see. We are sick. Come and see. We've got infection. Come and see. We've got tonsils. Come and see. Huh? But it never speaks because it's under the mouth. It's not the thyroid gland which you speak with on it. But it's in the mouth, it never speaks, but it always says, come and see. Here we've got flu. Yeah, we've got flu. Come and see. Hey, we've got an infection. Come and see. Amigo. Now, it's called the thyroid gland. Whenever something happens in your body, it's the first one to swell up. And then we have Thomas. Which one is Thomas? If I can prove it for myself, I'll believe. I want to put my finger. It's called your hypothalamus. You know the hypothalamus gland? It's the gland that activates your sleep and your wakefulness. Sleep and wakefulness. Sleep, wakefulness. It's what determines your length of sleep and your length of wakefulness. Why now is it Thomas? Why is the hypothalamus compared to Thomas? It controls your sleep patterns, right? So why is it compared to Thomas, the one who doubts? Sometimes you see in your dream, and when you wake up, you say, I want to put my finger.
Make sure.
To make sure. You understand that all these disciples are biological realities in our own body. If we can know to master ourselves, we can know to master God. And when you master God, you live like God, you are God. Yes, Wawan? Does it make sense? God doesn't want people to follow him. Come on. He owns everything. He owns you. He owns the ground you're walking on. He owns the food you eat. What more can you do? What can men do for God? Tell me. What is it that man can do for God? You can buy your girlfriend red roses. Can you buy God red roses? No. He created them. Can you buy God ice cream? No. What can you do for God? You buy him a purse from Louis Vuitton. What can you do for God? What can a man do for God? Nothing. Only? That's it. Emperor Haile Selassie says, there is nothing a man can do for God except to praise him. That's all you can do for the Most High. Ayikho into ongayenza Themba. Noma ungenza itulo awuthiyamezwa. Angeke wenzele uNkulunkulu isitulo. Ngoba nale gift yakho uyithatha kuye. You can't be, there is nothing you can do for God. Except to say, thank you. Thank you. Lord. Thank you, Lord. That's all you can say, you know? Yes. And he will bring you light.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
Yes.
That's all you can do for the Most High. Ukuthi nje yazi. Awuthiyama. Hayi. Spirit. That's all. And you will see God happy. And when God is happy, you will be blessed.
Yes.
Kunengoma lapha yamaKristu wena mkhanya ngilona ikhona. Kodwa kunale ngoma le ithi when the praises go up, blessings come down. Angiyazi nechuni yakhona mara ilapho somewhere lapho. Ithi when the praises go up, the blessings must come down. They have to. No. Put your trust in the Most High. Put your trust in the Most High. Our hands have failed us how many times? Our feet have failed us how many times? Our brains have failed us how many times? Let us trust in He who never fails. Simple. And then now we can live a perfect life. Peace I give to you. My peace I live with you. Do not be troubled. Do not be afraid. Just love one another as I have loved you. By this shall all men know that you are mine, that you love one another. Yeah.
Yeah.